We are starting our day in Tarbert, which is a town just about 10 minutes north of the Kinnicraig, Port Ellen ferry to get to Islay. And we stayed in a hotel here last night, and we got about a 10-minute drive over the ferry, and then we're going to be heading over to Islay, and we're really looking forward to today. This is a cool little port town. I would have liked to explore it a little bit. Unfortunately, we got in very late, and we have to get up and get rolling. Maybe that's the one slight disappointment of our trip so far, is that we haven't really got to explore these little towns very much, because I think that's what makes it unique, is all these little towns have so much character, and we're kind of blowing right by them. We're on the ferry, it's about to push off, and ready to get this day started. It's been a long time planning a trip to this island, and I'm looking forward to it happening.
We have gotten off the ferry on Islay, and it dropped us off at Port Askig, so we have to drive down. It's about a half an hour to the Port Ellen area, which is where we're going to find the distilleries that we are hitting up today. The plan is to go to Ardbeg, Laphroaig, and Lagavulin. Hopefully we can get them all in. We have a tight schedule, just one day here, but this is a day we've been looking forward to for a very, very long time. So we're very glad to be here and ready to taste some whiskey. We have not had any whiskey yet since we've gotten to Scotland. We were saving it for today. So it is a big and exciting day for us.
Well, the first thing I'm doing here at Lagavulin is heading down to the warehouse to do a tasting with legendary Lagavulin employee Ian MacArthur, and I've been looking forward to this one for years, and I'm excited that I'm finally here and a chance to get to do it.
So give you a warm welcome to Lagavulin. My name is Ian MacArthur and I work here for a wee while. So what we're going to do today, we're going to do the Islay Festival one first. The Islay Festival is 12-year-old, 10 years in the American oak cask, and 2 years in virgin oak. Then we will be doing 9-year-old, 12-year-old, 17-year-old, and 25-year-old. So in Lagavulin we've got storage space for 7,000 casks. Down in the village town Port Ellen we've got storage space for 6,000. We store a lot in Glasgow area and a lot in the Stirling area. Want to do it? Come on in. Carry on.
We'll be there in half an hour. I think I got some of that.
Oh.
Oh, nice work.
See any good at it?
It's the California.
So the next one we're doing here is only young.
Loving this so far, getting to see how the whiskey is pulled out of the barrels, and hearing Ian talk and tell the stories. It's been pretty entertaining.
We can recharge it 3 times in the life of the cask, and we can use it for 100 years. Did you all see it?
So how long would you use it in between charring?
Well, what we do is with charring, we can rechar a cask 3 times in the life of the cask. We could be using it 3 times before we do the second char. It depends on the cask. It's the colour of the whiskey that dictates. Today.
Happy birthday!
Oh, happy birthday. What's his name?
Jason.
Jason.
Happy birthday, Jason.
Hey, we don't say happy, we've got to sing him happy.
Well, absolutely love the warehouse tasting. I can't say enough great things about it. What an experience. This afternoon I'm going to be coming back and doing a tour of the property, so I'm looking forward to that too. Well, I'm walking up to Laphroaig. They only have tastings available right now because they're doing some work on their distillery, so their tours are not active at the moment, but all of these buildings are just so absolutely beautiful that they're worth stopping by just to take a look at the building, because they sit here on this coast of Islay, and you can actually see, I believe, Northern Ireland from here and some of the other Scottish Isles, and it's absolutely stunning. We're here on a beautiful day, and like I said, if you make it to Islay, just coming and seeing these buildings, even if you don't taste anything or do a tour, I think it's totally worth it because of just how beautiful they are. So gonna have a quick old fashioned here at Laphroaig. Oh, that is good. What a setting. Just here on this little bay, and I love the way they have the white buildings with the name of the distillery painted on the side. I can't imagine flying into Islay and seeing these distilleries just sitting on the edge. I mean, they're kind of like modern castles in some ways. People trek here from all around the world. There were people from many different countries in our earlier warehouse tasting, and I think that really adds to the experience. Just seeing how this little island, of course it's not that little when you're actually here, but it produces something that people all around the world enjoy, and they want to come here and experience it firsthand, and I think that's pretty cool. Well, the field I'm standing in right now is owned by Laphroaig, and on their website you can actually register to have a plot of land here. And if you go and find your plot of land, they'll give you coordinates. I think they'll give you boots. You get a dram of Laphroaig. Now, don't quote me on that because I don't know how the rules have changed. People do stick there. You see little flags. So people stick a flag from the country they're from. And so they found their plot. I technically have a plot of leased land here at Laphroaig. However, I'm not going to spend time finding it because I think this is a great way to explore the island. However, we have other things we're going to do.
So now it's my turn to do a tasting, and I'm just down the road from Lagavulin at Ardbeg for an old Stillhouse and a new Stillhouse tasting. I finished up my tasting here at Ardbeg, and you go in the old Stillhouse and you taste something that was made in that Stillhouse. Then you go into the new Stillhouse and we got to taste New Make Spirit, which is basically moonshine straight from the tap. That was very interesting. I could not take video inside the new Stillhouse, so most of my videos from the old Stillhouse. But overall, it was a very, very cool experience here at Ardbeg.
Because we had been illicit distilling for 200 years beforehand. Now obviously the tax man found us out, so that's kind of thing we found out. Obviously kind of you'll see a quite common feature around the island is actually a lot of the distilleries were mainly established in about the 1790, 1800s, kind of early 1800s era. That's when the tax man basically found one and he decided to go through the whole island and find the rest. So how it used to be.
Well, these are the ovens they used before 1970 to get the peat flavor in there. This is some peat, and that's where you get all that smoky flavor in this Scotch. This is a very cool room. They have to leave the doors open to let the carbon monoxide out, and birds fly in. So they have an owl here to keep the birds from coming in. But they said it doesn't really work. He hasn't moved the entire time we're here. Probably because he's fake. Well, just an absolutely incredible day at Lagavulin. It's just a place that if this is of any interest to you in your life, that you have to come one time, because it really just lives up to the experience. And we had a beautiful day and just an absolutely wonderful time. Well, there's more to Islay than just whiskey. There's a lot of history on this island as well, and so we're stopping and seeing some of the historic items here after the distilleries have closed. But the setting of this island just keeps getting better. I mean, if you're looking out here, you've got these mountains just undisturbed, and cattle grazing. There's a fun fact about the distillery that these are really well-fed cattle here on the island because they get a lot of the mash leftovers. It's protein from the distilleries. And they really look like they're eating quite well. This right here is the Kilchomen cross. It's estimated to be 1,300 years old, which is insane for something to stand that long, especially in this climate. Well, tonight we're staying in Bowmore. We've got a hotel in town. I believe this is the biggest town on Islay. There's only 3,000 residents in Islay. And so if you're actually gonna come here, you need to book your hotels quite in advance because their lodging options do book up early. We're here at the Lochside Hotel. We're eating at their restaurant, and we have ordered some food that we think is gonna be absolutely tasty. Madeline is getting local Islay scallops that are going to be covered in garlic butter and served with chips and a salad. So she's getting scallop and chips that are just going to be drenched in garlic butter. I'm going actually a little non-traditional. I'm getting chicken katsu. But Scotland has a lot of influence from other cultures in their food, and so I'm going with chicken katsu topped with curry, and we are so hungry that we cannot wait for this food to arrive.
This is a huge plate of scallops that just arrived. They look absolutely incredible, pan-seared, covered in garlic butter. I also have a salad, which might not sound that exciting, but I haven't had one in a while, so I'm pretty excited about that. And some chips here. So I'm gonna go straight in on these scallops. They look incredible. Like I said, it's a huge plate of scallops. Oh man, get all of that butter sauce. There's like a balsamic drizzle on the plate. It's giving it a little bit of sweetness. Lots of delicious garlic butter. Perfectly cooked, fresh scallops. So coming right out of the water, right onto my plate. This is the meal. This is like the perfect meal for this setting. And it's a perfect meal after tasting some whiskey.
So this chicken katsu, I'm gonna cut up. It's fried chicken, topped with curry sauce. There's vegetables on here as well. So we're gonna get one piece there. We're gonna get a little rice. And that looks like a flavorful bite. Chicken's really crunchy. Good curry sauce on there. Not curry that's spicy, but as a nice change up from what I've been eating last week or so. I'm enjoying this dish. You can see the Bowmore Distillery behind me. It's one of the, it feels like it's the only distillery we didn't go to today, but there's actually quite a few distilleries on the island. I think there's at least 9. There's 3 over by Port Askaig and 3 down by Port Ellen. There's 1 here in Bowmore, and there's a couple over on the west side of the island. There's only 3,000 residents here on Islay, and it just really is incredible the way that this island produces Scotch whiskey. And we're gonna wrap up for today. It's been a tremendous day, but we have some more fun adventures here in Scotland, and we are very much looking forward to continuing exploring this great country. We're starting off our morning here on the other side of Islay at Bruichladdich, and we're going to pop into their Lottie shop and maybe do a quick little tasting if they have one. And you know, our travel plans have changed a little bit for today, which means we could spend more time on Islay, and we're excited about that. And so this is a really, really beautiful distillery. They've got great teal blue. They sit right on the water. It's a beautiful setting, and we're looking forward to checking this place out.
So we're here at Bruichladdich, and we just basically had like a mini tasting. And the way that they make whiskey here is so interesting. The guys that owned it, they came from a winemaking background, and so they wanted to look at whiskey and making Scotch like wine. So it has to do with the barley and the different kinds of barley and how that changes the flavor, and also how the different casks would change the flavor as well. And they make a lot of unpeated whiskey, and they also make the most peated whiskey, which I think is fascinating. It's called Bowmore. It's over there. We're not trying that today, but maybe sometime. So this whiskey here is made from ancient barley up from Orkney. It's called bear barley. And it's a little bit spicier, a little kind of a cinnamon flavor. This one I like. It's made with Islay barley, which only really until like recently, like the early 2000s, did they start growing barley successfully on Islay again to make the whiskey here. It's like very, very easy drinking whiskey. I don't drink whiskey all that often, but I could see myself drinking that. So we had a little impromptu tasting here at Bruichladdich, and I just have to say that the staff here is absolutely incredible, so kind to us and so helpful, and we learned so much from just a quick little tasting right in the shop. I cannot say enough good things. Everything was delicious, and unfortunately we can't take a bottle home with us because we still don't have luggage. So I'm gonna keep an eye out for it in the States, and I did buy a t-shirt. The staff here was absolutely incredible, totally brightened our morning, and we're gonna have a great day here, still exploring Islay.
Well, we are sitting here in the main room of the Kilchomen. It is Islay's farm distillery, and it is absolutely stunning around here. The landscape is beautiful, and this distillery, very impressive room. We're actually getting some tea and some cake, and then we're gonna go over, get a driver's to go drum, and then I think Madeline might try a drum as well. So we're loving this facility so far. It's absolutely beautiful.
We've got some tea, we've got some coffee and cake, and we're going to do a little more tasting. So this one here is the Sanic?
Yes.
Sanic, that's how I would say that. A sherry and a bourbon barrel. Okay. Oh, that's tasty. That's good. It's a little bit sweeter. I think that's easy to drink. It's not very peaty, fiery, smoky. That's the word. It's not very smoky. Let's see, is there a peat percentage on here? No. Fruit, caramel, cinnamon. I taste all of that. This is a very, very nice distillery. This tasting room area is gorgeous, by the way. Okay, so this one is 100% Islay, which I really liked at Bruichladdich, so let's see. That's nice. I wonder if maybe it's just like knowing that it's grown here, that the barley is grown on Islay, that like mentally I just like it better. But that is very easy to drink, very tasty. This last one, Mahir Bay? I don't know if the C is silent on this. Let me know if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Lemon zest and vanilla and fruit. It smells good too. Ooh, this one is like more of a full flavor. Wow. I think I might like this one the best, actually.
All right, well, I'm excited for the cake. I have my tea, I have cake, and
It's a carrot cake?
it's a carrot cake, orange cake, and one other item that starts with a C that I'm not familiar with, and I can't remember at the moment. I asked the staff, and by the way, everyone on this island who works at the distilleries is like, they can win a reality show for being the nicest person ever. Fantastic hospitality from every place we've been, just unreal. But I asked the individuals who work there, what is your favorite cake? They said, that's hard to choose because they're all amazing. I believe them, I do. And they settled on this one, and they were right. This is very, very good.
We had a great stop in the Kilchomen, a beautiful tasting room. They had live music. It was incredibly inviting in such a beautiful setting. You're driving up. You can see the barley on each side that they use to make their whiskey, and it was really an unreal setting. Again, a beautiful tasting room, very inviting, and I'm so glad that we ended up there today. The 3 that we visited yesterday were amazing and were worth the trip in themselves, but this has just been such a bonus to be able to visit some of these other distilleries today. And now we are going to head over to Ardnahoe for lunch. We're about to head into Ardnahoe, and this is just a beautiful setting of the water. You can see the island of Jura right across the way. We're here at Ardnahoe in their restaurant called the Illicit Still. We're starting off with an Islay beer. It's called the Big Strand. Little departure from whiskey. And we've already put in our order. We're gonna start off with a potato leek soup, one of my all-time favorite soups. We had to order that. We have a falafel flatbread coming. A little different than some of the things that we've been eating so far, but we just felt like mixing it up. Lastly, we ordered the special today, which is a barbecue pulled pork sandwich. Adam absolutely loves barbecue. We saw that on the menu and thought, let's go for it. Big chunks of potato and leek here in this soup. It is seriously one of my all-time favorite soups. I'm afraid it's gonna be very hot. Let's go for it. That's very good. We've eaten a lot of soup on this trip, and I am not complaining. It's very good.
Well, I've been gone from my home in the United States for a week, and I finally got back to eating some barbecue, and I'm very excited to try it here in this beautiful setting. By the way, of the views you can get when you eat a meal, Ardnahoe has to have one of the best views in the entire world. You see the Isle of Jura, and we have the most picture-perfect day. I think it's around 70 degrees, barely any clouds in the sky, the sun is out, and we are just having a terrific time exploring this island today. And fun party meals like this just add to it. Very good pretzel bun, it's so fluffy. The pulled pork has nice barbecue sauce on it. And then I also love the potatoes here. There's one thing that they do really well in the British Isles. I think it's their chips. These are wedges. They always seem to be a little bit smaller, a little bit crispier. Big fan of how they do potatoes over here.
This is my falafel wrap. I'm just gonna go for it. I'm not sure what all is in there, but it all looks tasty. We absolutely love falafel. There's a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of heat, and it's just kind of a nice departure to mix it up a little bit. We've had so many amazing meals here in Scotland so far, but sometimes you just want to try something a little different.
Right off the back porch here at Ardnahoe, the restaurant, and This is as good as it gets in terms of a view for lunch. It's absolutely spectacular. Good food, beautiful facility, and we are loving exploring this island. I think we've got a couple more things we're going to try and do today, so we want to see what Islay has for us next, because it's been pretty good so far.
We finished up our lunch at Ardnahoe, and what a beautiful setting it is. Their restaurant looking out on the water. It's really just, we keep saying, oh, the setting is unreal, but each one really is in its own way very unique and just absolutely beautiful. But we have one more stop we're gonna make. We're heading over to Bunnahabhain. We're here at our final whiskey stop, and that is Bunnahabhain. It's another incredible setting. We're right here on the water. There's a beach down below and mountains behind me. You really cannot beat any of these views that we've had today. It's just been absolutely incredible. I have to say, being on Islay these last 2 days, I have learned so much about Scotch, and I have a greater appreciation for the drink. I've learned peated, unpeated, either bourbon barrels or sherry barrels, and where the grains come from and how that affects the flavor. It's just really opened up my eyes to the world of Scotch in a way that I should have known would happen, but I'm just so impressed with everything we've done here the last 2 days. You have to come here to appreciate it, because it is just such a unique place. Like I said, every single distillery has an incredible setting. They're all making incredible products, and I'm just, fate had it that we needed to spend a little more time here, and I'm very, very glad that that was the case. Also, gorgeous weather. I thought it was going to be cold while we were here, and the sun has been shining. Beautiful, warm weather. The beach is down there. There's people out in the water. It's probably the high 60s, and it's just a beautiful summer day. And here I have a nice unpeated Bunnahabhain whiskey. That's very nice. I appreciate the peat and the smoke, but it is just a little bit easier to drink the unpeated. And that's something I've learned here on Islay. Well, we're heading out of Bunnahabhain, and really just an amazing day here on Islay. We're gonna head over to the ferry in a minute, but each of these distilleries that we've visited have all been amazing. Beautiful scenery, each one unique. We've had amazing experiences at each one, and I have to say, I think we're a little sad to leave. If you want to see more from our adventures in Scotland, click right here. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.